Welcome everybody to another edition of WCW 2003 here in TEW 2020 as we continue the series as we're on the road to Bash at the Beach, and we're at Nitro here in beautiful San Diego, California. And as I've said before, if you follow the link down in the, not the comments, but the, description of the video, you'll see a link to vote for the Media Award. So go ahead and, make your decisions, choose what you want, go from there. But let's get on to the show. So, we start out with a poor pre-show match, where Reno, Lestat, and Chavo Guerrero defeated Blitzkrieg, Konnan, and Yang in 14:53, when Lestat pinned Blitzkrieg with a double arm suplex. Your basic pre-show 6-man just to get some people in the ring. Yang got a 54, Konnan got a 63, Blitzkrieg got a 59, Chavo got a 59, Lestat got a 65, Reno got a 58, and if you saw there, Konnan suffered some chronic lower back pain, so I said it is, that might be the reason to sort of totally cycle him out of the main show. So too bad for him, but it's almost time for him anyway. But it's time to move on to the actual show. Yes, I know. As we open up the actual show here in San Diego with Rey Jr. coming out to his hometown fans, he gets a huge pop. Thanks to fans for all the support. Says there's something important tonight. Tonight in the main event, it's me and Alex Wright versus Kanyon and Ric Flair. And we're going to show them how we do it here in the 619. Huge pop. Kanyon comes out, reminds Rey Jr. that nobody's better than Kanyon. And tonight, in front of your hometown, it's going to be proven once again why I'm a former world champion and you're a masked punk. And that gets an 83. Everybody was really good. So there you go. So we then move backstage where Shane Helms is with Gigantes, and he does a promo where he reminds everybody that he is the greatest U.S. champion in World Championship Wrestling history. And tonight, Gigantes is finally going to clean up the mess that's been made with these old-timers trying to take him out when Gigantes destroys Dustin Rhodes once and for all. But then before he goes, actually, I just had an idea. Next week, Nitro. Anybody wants to take me on for this? As he taps the U.S. title, I'll face anybody. So come on, come all, and see if we can have a chance against the greatest United States champion of all time. And this gets 71, so not bad at all. And then in About to Head Terrible Wrestling and Non-Existent Crowd Heat, Lexi James and Gail Kim defeated Beth Phoenix and Angel Fox in 9:32 when Lexi James pinned Angel Fox with a Lori DT. So back and forth match. James is able to, hit her finisher on her challenger at Bash at the Beach after, some distraction, back and forth, usual heel cheating, but she is able to hit the actual move cleanly. Gail Kim gets a 53, Lexi gets a 55, Angel gets a 57, and Beth Phoenix gets a 43 for an overall of a 60. So solid match. And the heel celebrating gets a 67, which is actually really good. We go backstage where we have a promo where Booker officially lays out that at Bash at the Beach he's going to take on Morningstar. And second, once I get with you, if there's any left of him after Goldberg gets done with him, I'm going to get my revenge on that big mofo Mesias. And there's nothing you can do about it because I'm a 5-time world champion and you're just a flunky. Can you dig that? And that gets a 75. Then we move on to a Hart Foundation promo where Jeremy Borash is backstage with him, and they officially challenge Cash, Reno, and Amber O'Neal to a 6-person match at Bash at the Beach. Just a simple, straightforward promo. Gets a 50 overall. So, not the best thing, not the worst thing in the world considering these guys' overness. And their lack of, mic skills. The reason they do flips and not promos. When they go on to our next match, which is in a decent match, Mesias defeats Jason Jett in 8:05 by pinfall to Crucifix Powerbomb. So this is exactly what you think it is. Jason Jett, vaguely, defiantly fighting against the big monster, but at the end of the day, Mesias is Mesias, and he finishes off cleanly with the Crucifix Powerbomb in the middle of the ring. Gets a 78, which is a really good match. Probably maybe should have put it as the semi-main, but I wasn't sure how good of a rating it would get because of Jett. and Jett gets a 54, and Mesias gets an 89. And after that, Mesias, drags Jason Jett after, clobbering him with a chokeslam and maybe a big lariat in the middle of the ring. He brings him off to the stage to throw him off the stage just like he did Booker. But out of nowhere, Goldberg saves him, and then he fights him off with a couple big punches and maybe a big kick. Mesias is ready, and Goldberg spears him right into the big metal WCW sign on, at the top of the ramp. 2 cheers from the crowd. Goldberg gets an 83. And yeah, solid stuff. As we really build up, which I think we've already pre-booked. I'm like, yeah. Isn't obvious by now? It's going to be Goldberg versus Mesias at the Bash. And then we go backstage for kind of a goofy segment, but something I had to do. So basically, Noble attacks London as he's, backstage doing backstage wrestler things, and they eventually brawl, and they eventually, go through, a random door, and as it closes, you see that it says, women's locker room, and, we hear some screams. Eric comes in, and basically, he says, why are you doing this, guys? Anyway, within the women's locker room, I have an idea. It's going to be Jamie Noble and Lucky James versus Paul London and Angel Flocked in a mixed tag next week, because, both of you are challenging for titles, so why not team up and see what you can do? And in the background, we sort of see Tori Wilson underdressed because it's still 2003, so we need a little bit of, sex appeal in a women's locker room. But let's get a 62, so not bad. And yeah, this is a goofy segment, but I thought of the idea for the match, and I need to figure out a way to angle set it up. So there we go. 62. And then we go to the next match, which is about had a decent reaction from the crowd, but terrible wrestling. Gigantes defeated Dustin Rhodes in 801 by default of chokeslam. Gets a 56 overall. Gigantes gets a 46. Dustin Rhodes gets a 53. So this isn't quite a squash, because Gigantes doesn't dominate, but Dustin Rhodes does his best. But at the end of the day, Gigantes is a monster and gets the big chokeslam to get the pinfall victory. And just when you thought it's done here, Gigantes goes up for a big old chokeslam for another one, and then another one, and then when he goes for the third one, all of a sudden, Seek and Destroy hits, and Sting rappels down from the ceiling, making his return, and runs off Gigantes while holding his bat up. And that gets a 68. Let's see why that wasn't do as good as I thought. Okay, very hot crowd. Okay, probably just Rhodes isn't that over, and either is Gigantes, but what can you do? And even though this would be officially announced at on Saturday night, or at the what's we're looking for here on the WCW.com website, it's Sting versus Gigantes at Bash at the Beach. And as we come back from commercial, there's a promo where RVD and Palumbo is backstage. They go over the fact that Palumbo is wrestling Lance Storm tonight, and RVD gives him his best luck. Good luck, bro. Storm's an ass, but take him out, and we'll see what we can do afterwards with him. Just your basic babyface promo, hyping each other up. Palumbo goes to the fact that he's had his word, that RVD has had his words with Kidman in the past, and yeah, RVD says yeah, but at the end of the day, he's an asshole, bro. So is Lance Storm. So they're, two peas in a pod. And if we both have to beat him, then we both have to beat him. Because you're a cool dude, and I'm RVD. 69, not the best thing in the world, but not too bad either. Especially considering these are fairly short promos. And then we go to our match where Jerry Lawler was a special referee. You have Mark Jindrak versus AJ Styles. And in a decent match, Mark Jindrak with AJ Styles in 10:08 following a double disqualification. So this gets a 79, Jindrak gets a 64, AJ gets a 75. So basically what happens is, as these two are fighting, near the end of the match, they're fighting outside, and basically Jerry Lawler does a quick 10 count, counts them both out, and then he goes back to top of the ramp, grabs a mic, and basically says, too bad, neither won, so I guess A&W have the night off at Bash at the Beach. So this gets 79. We're going to the promo afterwards, where both Jinder and Styles looks like they're going to go after Lawler, but Bischoff comes out and says, no, wait, this, no. I mean, I appreciate what you just tried to pull here, Jerry, but that's not going to fly. At Bash at the Beach, it's going to be a three-way. A&W, Air Raid, Jinder and Styles. Crowd pops for that, and there you go. And then we have Lance Storm doing an in-ring, where basically he tries to explain stuff for last week. Basically explains that, nobody's taking him seriously anymore, so he had to make a point that he deserves a shot at the top just as much as Rob Van Dam. And tonight he's going to prove why he's the best technical wrestler in World Championship Wrestling when he takes apart some biker punk who thinks he's cool because he wears a jean jacket. John Palumbo comes out and basically, starts the brawl. And this gets a 73. Not the worst, but not the best either. And then we have our actual match, which gets an 80, which is actually better than I thought. So it about that good wrestling and decent reaction from the crowd. Chuck Palumbo defeated Lance Storm 10:57 by pinfall with a Palumbo's pride following interference from Rob Van Dam. During the match, we also had Billy Kidman run in and attack Palumbo. So basically, this is Kidman coming in and kneeling Palumbo first, but Palumbo was able to kick out of the pinfall by Storm. RVD comes in, does a Van Dam to Storm after another ref bump, and Palumbo's able to hit his finisher and pick up the pinfall victory. Storm gets a 73, and Palumbo gets a 79. And then afterwards, which gets a 68, we had all four-men brawl while April Hunter is in the background with her man Kidman. And again, this would get announced either on this website or on, at Saturday night. But officially, it's Chuck Palumbo versus Billy Kidman. And Lance Storm versus RVD. And then we go to our main event, which gets a 92, which I think is one of our better matches. So in a superb match, Alex Wright and Rey Jr. defeat Ric Flair and Kanyon in 1723 when Alex Wright pinned Ric Flair with a surprise roll-up. So just get a 92, like I said. Kanyon gets a 94, Ric Flair gets an 84, Rey Jr. gets an 83, Alex Wright only gets a 67. What can you do? So, this is a back and forth main event US Pro style match. And in the end, both Rey Jr. and Kanyon are on the outside fighting. And Alex Wright is able to get the really surprise roll-up on Ric Flair as he's yelling to the ref about Rey Jr. doing some sort of form of cheating, which isn't true at all, and gets the huge shock pin as the crowd celebrates. And we finish the show with a 85. So not our best show ever, but a really solid show, especially considering we didn't have O'Hara or Vampiro on the show at all. So let's finish this out, and let's see what happened on Raw. So first, let's look at an email. Kanyon injured. Ken Helms thinks Angel Fox is turning into a good worker. And, okay, we have 1.89 overall. Yeah. So let's look at Raw. So Raw got a 88, which is actually surprising. So Deep DDP and Wild and Wicked, which is Nelson Knight and Randy Orton, which again is a hilarious team name. Defeated Grand Manager Sexy, No Trust Needed, which is Al Snow and Jake Roberts. Chris Jericho defeated Skull by DQ, which got an 89, which just shows you how much of an advantage the AI has. DDP did a promo. Big Show defeated Blue Boy. Shawn Michaels defeated Matt Hardy, which got a 93. Steve Austin defeated Rolling Rico, which got a 95. And Triple H and Chris Benoit defeated the Brothers of Destruction, which got a 94. So, hold on. I'm being dumb. So, yeah, we got an 88, and Nitro got an 85. So, again, not bad at all. Let's check out our medical to see. Okay, so Kanyon has chronic lower back pain for basically the next 2 months. Storyline-wise, everything's looking pretty good. Future Shock is still really over. Our main event is really over. Helms and Friends is up to a 60. Kanyon doing Kanyon things is up to a 92. Kidman vs. Palumbo is at a 72. Tag Wars is up to a 77. Vampire is up to 80, and then Rizzo O'Hare is up to 86, and the Women's Title Showdown is also up to a 62. So not bad at all. But yeah, that's it for the moment. Merch-wise, after another week, we've got Goldberg, Booker, RVD, O'Hare, Lawler, Kanyon, Vampiro slightly above Kanyon, Mesias, Flair, Palumbo, Jarrett, Helms, and Rey Jr. So about the same as before, except no more DDP and Nash because they're both gone. But, oh yeah, just to figure that out as far as our top 100, just because I'm interested. So matches, okay, so yeah, that was our third best match of all time. Just behind Helms versus Rey Jr. and that almost random tag match that got a freaking 95. That's still kind of amazing to me. Anyway, regardless, that's all for now. So again, like I said at the beginning of the show, beginning of the video, go ahead and vote in the mid-year awards. And if you're enjoying this, go ahead and give it a like, comment below what you're enjoying and not enjoying, and subscribe to the channel for lots of TEW 2020 content, including this, the MLW Ruthless Aggression series, my Women's Revolution in 2010 series, and my WCW 1993 with No Eric Bischoff series, and much, much more. That's all for now, and talk to you later. Adios.